This is Viktor Skatt from CrankItUp, and I'm here with Mike from Rival Sons. So you've been on tour for quite some time now in Europe, and how's it feeling so far?
It feels amazing. Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, I think so.
It feels great. We're ready to wrap it up. We It's been a successful run. We started opening for Blackstone Cherry, and now we've been headlining for a couple weeks, and pretty much selling out everywhere we're going. Um, and then we're gonna go home in a week and rest for a few weeks and get ready for the summer tour, which is going to be all the European UK festivals, which includes Sweden Rocks.
You started out in 2008, if I'm not wrong, and you've already toured with some of my favorite bands like Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, and AC/DC.
Rob Halford, on the last day of the tour, um, thanked us personally, said he really liked what we were doing, and that we had balls for doing what we were doing because we're like blues rock opening for like a metal band. And he said when they first got their start, he told us a story about when they opened for Foghat, which is more of a blues rock band, and they were metal. And he's like, they had pints of piss thrown at them, bottles, all sorts of stuff. And so, he commended us for doing what we were doing, and he said he really liked our music. And so,
But you're here and you're touring with the new album, Pressure and Time, and I read that it was recorded and it was actually written, recorded, and mixed in 20 days.
we first of all, we believed in ourselves enough to know that we could do it. And on our first album, we kind of did that. And Before the Fire is the first one we self produced that. And we kind of did that. We made the songs musically in a day, put the guitar solos on, and then spent another few days putting the vocals on after the music was done. And so we knew we could put a song together. And after getting Jay in 2008, we knew that he's a wordsmith, he's a songster, he's a songwriter. He's been writing songs for since he was a kid. So knowing he believed in himself enough to come up with melodies and words in a day, and we knew we could do it. We weren't scared at all. Nobody went in thinking this was going to be hard, and it was a little arduous at times, but we still pulled it off. And it's fun. It's challenging. It's nice to give yourself a challenge, and then sometimes if you overthink stuff, it takes the danger away from it.
As Jay, he's got this singer-songwriting background. How has that influenced the sound and the songwriting of Rival Sons?
I think that the perfect blend of that is our current single that we're about to release or have released, Face of Light. That's like kind of the perfect amalgamation of Jay's singer-songwriter and the blues soul rock that of the Rival Sons. I think adding him to the band completed the soul singing that we were looking for. Yeah, we needed that blue-eyed soul singer. And as well, the singer-songwriter background I think adds to our sense of melody, um, the phrasing of the lyrics and the voice. So I mean, I think Jay's a all around, like, one of the best singers around. I think we're lucky to have him.
It's a lot of the early 70s stuff, but it's also the blues. But what kind of blues do you like to listen to and get inspiration from?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many schools and genres of blues when you start unpacking that. Because Jay and Scott more so are more like the blues guys. Me and Robin are more the funk, soul, jazz aspect of the band. I've listened to blues my whole life, but I grew up on like John Lee Hooker, B.B. King, some of the bigger names, whereas Jay and Scott will go into the like names I've never heard of. And so, like Lightning Hopkins and Howlin' Wolf, Sun House, some of those like more obscure, of course Robert Johnson. Um, so I mean, all those people influenced Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, Little Richard, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and it goes up the chain. And then all of a sudden, the blues stopped influencing rock and roll. We're what, like mid 70s, maybe mid to late 70s, and then you have basically metal kind of taking over in the 80s. I mean, though I love um, Iron Maiden's one of my favorite bands, but there's no blues in that. It's like it's pure metal, you know. So metal kind of, I think, took the blues out of rock, you know. And I'm not saying metal's bad. I'm just saying it's metal's metal, you know. And so Zeppelin kind of are at the apex of hard rock, you know. Or they kind of started it from hard rock. You get like Black Sabbath, and you can see the family tree, so to speak, and how it led to everything. And the blues has been kind of missing, I think, from rock music for 20 to 30 years. You could say, you could easily make that argument. I mean, we have like now we have anything Jack White does. He's always bringing the blues to his bands. Raconteurs, Dead Weather, White Stripes, Black Keys. Black Keys are another band that are bringing back the blues. There's the Dap Kings. What's her name? Sharon Jones. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings and like Amy Winehouse. They were kind of bringing back that soul singing, and Raphael Sadiq, and like there's plenty of people that are kind of bringing that soul music back from the 60s, which we're drawing from the well of the blues to answer your original question.
Yeah.
I discovered every fucking bass possible.
This is Robin here on the bass, who's currently on lead iPhone. What do you think is the most important thing to like get a crowd going on the Rival Sons shows?
Well, my first thing that comes to my mind is honesty. Like, this is who we are, this is what we do, and we're gonna give it to you. It's subjective, you know. It's different every night. We personally push each other every night. Like, we're constantly trying to improve the set. We're trying to make it different. We're trying to switch songs around and see which ones go back to back. So like we are massaging it, and it keeps us on our toes. We never want to like fall into a rut. You know, we try to police ourselves.
That's when you lose the danger
Yeah.
and the excitement of it.
Yeah, and I think the audiences feel that danger and the excitement and to me, at the end of the day, that's honesty. It's like, here it goes, boom, that's it. You know, what you see is what you get. You know, we just finished tracking a new album. What's next immediately? We have about a week left of the tour, and we're releasing Face of Light as a single and a video. And then we rest for a month. Then we're doing some Canadian festivals. Then we're doing 2 months in Europe, UK, June and July. And then this album we just finished recording will probably come out end of August, September, on Earache Records again. And in the fall, I think we're coming back here again. So we'll probably hit Canada and Tokyo and maybe Australia in between then. And so we have a lot on our plate. So that's why I keep mentioning this break we're about to have, because we're going to have about a month off, and we're all very excited to just rest for a second, you know, because it's been so crazy. We had a month off at Christmas too, but I haven't been home since January 9th. So I'd like to pet my cat and go surfing and walk on the beach barefoot.
So what do you do to like keep up the spark on tour? I see you got some habaneros and everything here.
We have greens, spinach, and we run them through a juicer. We have lemons, limes, oranges, a big professional, 800-watt juicer, and you just throw all these things in, and you get this like greenish brown juice that's really, really good for you. Here's the end of one of them, and this counteracts the hard lifestyle of getting no sleep and maybe having too much to drink one night and playing, and it's good to stay healthy. We like to sightsee do all the touristy things that we can. In Bergen, we went to the top of the mountain, take a train ride to the top of Bergen, and there's trolls up there and stuff. We saw some trolls, saw some moose. I personally like to go running. We all like to work out as much as possible, like go to the gym, go swimming, do some yoga, like anything that counteracts the monotonous kind of feel of going bus, club, sound check, gig, bus, club, sound check. You have to kind of do something. I read a lot personally. Everyone kind of has their own little thing they do in their bunk. I don't know what Robin's doing up there, but it's going.
Yeah.
He's up there above me sleeping.
Yeah. So this is Viktor Skatt.
And I'm Michael from
Rival
Rival Sons, and you're watching Crank It Up.